Hello everyone, this is a new video from Trainovate during which we will be discussing briefly 5 tips to help you give better answers in your next NEBOSH open book exam. These tips are actually from international examiners who mark NEBOSH papers all over the world and are based on the NEBOSH examiners reports recently issued. Good news is we now have a fast-growing, wonderful e-learning platform, Trainovate.org, through which you can get a variety of courses with UK CPD points. We offer courses like sales, marketing, human resources, auditing, and of course NEBOSH, to name a few. Please check out Trainovate.org. And based on the latest feedback from NEBOSH examiners, including the exam papers I marked myself, I can honestly say that our current e-learning NEBOSH program is quite adequate to prepare you for your next open book exam, if you study properly and do your part, of course. So here are the 5 tips. Number 1, be careful with the polarity of your answer. Are you trying to give a positive answer, for example, adequate training, presence of top management in meetings, etc., or is it a negative answer, for example, lack of leadership or inadequate resources, a high number of accidents, etc.? So please take care of the polarity of your answer. The way you present your answers makes a big difference. Number 2, do not confuse the task, which in the heading of the question, with the question itself. Here is an example. For example, the task could be influencing health and safety culture. But the question, and there may also be some text about that, but then the question itself would say, what are the negative indicators of safety culture at the warehouse for 10 marks? So the question is the statement that has, or the question that has the marks beside it. So do not confuse that with the task or the text below the task. In this case, focus on answering the actual question and don't be much distracted by the task or the headline. Number 3, do not overthink or overanalyze the scenario. I mean, when you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. Usually the scenario will have a general negative or positive impression towards a safety or safety in a situation or in an organization. The questions are usually straightforward and there are not many tricks there. For example, if a question is asking you to evaluate if a company is doing enough safety auditing, for instance, then check the scenario and what you read is what you get. There is no need to overanalyze or overthink and try to find minor evidence between the lines to prove that the company, for example, is not doing well with auditing. Tip number 4, avoid giving introductory text that may not gain you any marks. Focus on answering the actual question. For example, if the question is asking you to provide evidence from the scenario that the company is doing safety auditing, no need to type 2 or 3 paragraphs explaining what auditing is and how it is done. This is unlikely to give you or to gain you any marks. And finally, tip number 5, it's much better if you can break down your answers into smaller paragraphs. Each paragraph should have a heading about the point that you're trying to deliver, in addition to some elaboration on this point, like the outline style. This makes it easier on examiners to find the keywords and answers worthy of marks. And for example, something like this, you'd like your paragraph to look something like this. For example, the heading would be legal purposes, and then to cover the employer's liability in the case of accidents and occupational diseases, etc. And then you can do the next, and then you can do the next. So these were 5 tips to help you with your next open book exam. Please visit our Trainovate.org e-learning platform and register today. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.